All right, welcome back to the Online Coach Podcast. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about three things. Number one, we're going to talk about trouble in paradise. Number two, we're going to talk about a wedding in Laguna. And number three, we're going to talk about permission to chill. And we'll tell you what that means later on in the video. Should we get into it?
Let's get into it. So if this is your first time meeting us, we're Jess and Jeff. We're a couple of online business coaches, and we've built 2 six-figure online coaching businesses organically, both within 90 days. So with that being said, let's jump into the podcast, man.
Yeah, guys, in case this is you guys' first time here, we go raw and real. Usually every Sundays. We took a couple Sundays off just because we were traveling. We'll talk about that. But our goal is to just share with you guys the lessons we've learned along the way. And we continue to learn along the way. Hopefully it helps you guys grow your online coaching business.
Yeah, no cuts, baby.
So first thing we want to talk about is trouble in paradise.
Oh, let's dive in.
Dun, dun, dun. Great hook, by the way. What do we mean by that?
So trouble in paradise. Basically, it was a couple of weeks ago, and I was in Laguna Beach, and Jeff was still in Puerto Rico, and we had a really big sales call day. It was going to be a big day for us.
Just stacked the day with coaching call after coaching call, and when we see a day with like 5 book calls on it, we're thinking, okay, this could be awesome, but we also know our numbers, and we're like, okay, we're going to make a lot of money on this day, most likely.
Exactly. So earlier in the day, we got on Zoom ourselves, and we were able to be chatting and, doing the thing, got on our coaching call, no issues. But then right after the coaching call, all of a sudden, Jeff in Puerto Rico said, my internet's not working. So we all know Zoom requires internet. We're like, okay, weird. So he calls me on his phone. His phone's not working. I can only hear every other 5th, sometimes like 10th word. And we have our first sales call coming up for the day. And so we're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do here? And so, you had boots on the ground. I was so far away. I felt so helpless in trying to actually get things done for you.
Right. And so guys, before this, we were wondering if we should talk about this kind of stuff because we don't want to cast a bad light on Puerto Rico. Like this could happen anywhere, and there's pros and cons to different places, But one of the cons of island life down here is internet goes out a lot, and it's not an internet issue per se. That was part of the problem, but it's an antenna problem. So you could actually have internet go back on, but if your antenna is not speaking properly to the internet or to your phone service, then nothing's going to work. And during this week, it was just raining like crazy, and there's a lot of construction, so wires were being cut or broken. And so long story short, we had 5-ish sales calls for that day. Couldn't take one of them, and just so you guys know, we were closing at 70% that month. And so it kind of hurt because we were expecting to close, at least 2 of them kind of thing. So yeah, we weren't so happy about that one, and long story short, we did not have internet for the better part of that week for me down here. So Jess was kind of flying solo while being a maid of honor in California, and I was just, sitting longingly
literally on the couch
by the phone that wasn't working, just like, Jess, I miss you, I'm sorry.
Oh no, well, and that's the thing, it's like there was no reason for us to be mad at each other. Like we literally, this is why it was so frustrating too, because we literally checked every box perfectly. We did everything perfect on our end. Just these variables we could not control. There was literally nothing we could do. I was calling that manager, I was calling the building guy, and they were coming up and checking, and then that's when we heard, okay, well, everything's working, but our antenna isn't communicating, which is what provides internet and the phone service.
Right. And the people who we leased from, they're really freaking cool. They're very sweet, and they're more than accommodating.
We're very lucky.
And this is not an isolated incident, though. Like, this has happened multiple times before, not just here, but also at our old place. And like even our first sales call that we took in Puerto Rico, the line dropped.
Oh my gosh, like literally the very first sales call for our business here.
Yeah, and so what we're thinking about is like we've got generators, and then we have backup generators, but still, if like you guys know how it is, if you're on a sales call and then you drop the call not once but twice, and you got to wait for a generator to kick back on, it's not a good look. And so
it's about 5 to 10 minutes for it to kick on, so there's that long, and it seems like an eternity.
Right. So long story short, this month we're going to be checking out different parts of the island. I really love the west side, so Jess hasn't been there yet.
I'm excited to go. Because he loves it, and I typically love most places he loves. At least any place he's taken me.
So we're gonna see if we can. Well, that's really sweet of you.
It's true.
So we're gonna see if we can make something work over on the west side. Really dial things in. If not, Jess and I are gonna be doing a lot of traveling, looking for that new home base.
Yeah. Yes, but I mean, also the conclusion to that day. I think that it's really hard for us to just shake things off like this because we're like, especially when we're checking, those boxes perfectly and then things are so out of our control. And so we kind of took the rest of the day to like decompress a little bit, which I think I want to give us props for, because usually it's very difficult for us to kind of turn off in that way.
Yeah.
So we were able to just like, okay, literally nothing we can do. Tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah. And then there were some other incidences too that have happened lately down here where it wasn't ideal, and so it got us thinking like, oh, is this where we want to be? And of course, like, there's gonna be bad apples anywhere you go, but there were some
It's called life.
Right. And again, don't want to talk shit or anything, but we're like, do we really want to be here? For a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I shouldn't say for the most part, there's a lot of nice people here for sure, but at the end of the day, you want to go where you feel welcome.
Yeah, where you feel like home.
And you don't get gringo pricing everywhere and just get shafted and feel safe.
Truth, yeah. So we're doing a lot of weighing the pros and cons, and like we even had a discussion today about it. We'll continue having those discussions as we're figuring things out, especially for our business and our lifestyle. So that's kind of the update on that. But that was what really put the cherry on us really turning the wheels to think about other opportunities for us.
Yeah, again, we know this is YouTube, so we should probably be on our P's and Q's, but we're just trying to keep it real with you guys here. Again, like, we love a lot of parts of Puerto Rico, but
Island life, baby.
But there's a couple parts of it we really don't love too, and so we just want to be transparent. I feel like there should be more people being transparent about stuff.
I totally agree.
Make YouTube a lot more fun to watch.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next thing. A little bit more fun. A wedding in Laguna.
Oh my gosh, you guys. The wedding in Laguna. I mean, so I was in Laguna for about a week or so before you arrived, a week and a half before you arrived.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks before I arrived.
Prepping for my mom got married. Congrats, Mom. But we were prepping for a couple weeks, and then Jay arrived.
Maybe let people know, because as a dude, I'm like, why do you have to go out 2 weeks early?
Oh,
so
yeah,
what does
okay.
the MOH, maid of honor, actually do?
Right, okay, thank you. Yeah, so for this one, this maid of honor scenario I had, I went to my mother's final dress fitting, so I was there for that. That's why I flew in so early, because the final dress fitting was
Super important.
2 days later. Yeah,
So Jess has done a couple of these MOHs. Everyone wants a piece of Jess. I get it.
Well, here I am. So we did the final dress fitting. We kind of did some last decor touches. We did, final seating chart. We had some last minute kind of tiny details to do, making sure everything was in place and ready for the event, making sure that the reception area, I get the reception and ceremony confused. Ceremony, we actually get wed, was all set up, ready to go. So there's just a lot of prepping the tiny things leading up to it.
So Jess basically had 2 jobs for these 2 to 3 weeks.
I did. But I mean, honestly, I like go anyways. That's how I function the best, is always being on the go. So it was a lot, not gonna lie. And it was fun, not gonna lie. But yeah, I think that, we'll get into it, but definitely burned out at the end of it, because it was just go. But then, so I was there for quite some time. Jay flew in the Friday before the wedding. And yeah, you got in nice and late, which was nice. So you got to have the whole day here pretty much. Get some work done, wrap up some things. That's right.
In Puerto Rico, yeah.
In Puerto Rico.
And then I flew in, and then my bag didn't get there, which is, not the biggest deal, except then I had Jess's dress in my bag because, again, living here, stuff doesn't really get to you.
Oh my gosh,
in a short amount of time. And so I was bringing her dress, and so then all of a sudden I didn't have my tux. I didn't have Jess's dress, and it's the day before the wedding. And so that was...
Shit!
Yeah, that was a little stressful, but we ended up going to the airport and getting all...
The next day, so Saturday before the wedding was on Sunday, so we got everything the day before.
Yeah, I have nothing nice to say about United.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a mess, but it all worked out fine, and so we were able to go to the hotel that day on Saturday, and we got to set up the hotel room and the place for the ceremony. Got to bring all of the reception. See, I always get those things confused. Take all the decor over, and then we got to get ready and go to dinner, which was so nice. We went to Javier's. For those in Laguna Beach area knows Javier Mexican food is like banging. We were so excited.
Freaking awesome. Craig, thanks so much.
Yeah, so
he was
nice.
The groom who took care of it, took care of us.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Margs, tacos, guacamole. I mean, we get so excited to go to California also just for the Mexican food.
100%.
Oh my God, yeah, give us all the Mex. But then, yeah, next day was wedding day, and Jay and I had a huge job. We clocked in for that day, for sure.
Wasn't expecting to, but, did it with a can-do attitude.
He had nothing but a smile on his face the whole entire time. But basically, I'm just going to come out and say it, we shot a whole wedding the entire day. And so I woke up with my mom in her room and helped her get ready. So we were doing photo shoot for that. And then at the ceremony, I did it right this time, at the ceremony, photos for that, Jay was like all up in the grill, getting all the amazing shots with this gorgeous background, nothing but ocean, blue skies. I will say the girls showed up an hour late, so the guys were like sweating, fully suited. Oh my God, sorry guys.
No, I mean, you gotta expect that.
They were troopers.
It's all good. She looked great.
She did look beautiful.
Yeah, Linda, you looked amazing. So it was worth the wait.
Yeah, but Jay was in there with the camera. Like, he got some amazing shots. Like, oh my gosh, amazing shots. You'll see them, I'm sure, some of them at some point. But then the reception came, which was nonstop, just photos.
We should back it up a little bit. So why were we taking photos? It's because Jess used to do branding for clients, and then I used to do branding for clients as well. Jess was always, a little bit my superior in that sense. And so at the wedding, the way it was working was Jess was the MOH, so she couldn't be the only one holding cam, but it actually worked really well because as the MOH, you're the master of ceremonies too. You were telling everybody what to do, but then also it's really nice when you have two people shooting a wedding, because then Jess could just be making sure everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
And then I could just swing in like the creepy guy in the corner, just getting the candid shots.
Very good looking creepy guy.
Right, because like if you think about it, if someone's like, hey, get ready for a photo, then you get people who don't know how to smile and they're like, they get all like camera face on you. But if you have Jess over here, it's just a whole pile of fun, and then I'm sneaking up and I'm just capturing this moment, it's way more organic. So the photos turned out amazing.
They turned out so good, and we structured it very well where we got together first on, I think it was on Saturday. We got together on Saturday, and you had a nice shot list, and I had photo inspo where we got together and like, okay, we need to get these shots, these shots. And then before each major moment, like the ceremony, for example, I was like, there are 3 shots we need to nail. And then gave him the camera. I was like, we need this shot, this shot, this shot. Everything else is a bonus. And so of course he got the shot because he's incredible. And then
or just snap a whole bunch and just like
spray and pray.
Yeah, spray and pray. Cross your fingers and hopefully one's good.
Yeah, but then the collaboration was so good, and we work so similar because we work together every day anyways. So it was a really good collaborative moment, but we were shooting, at least I started early that day at 9 a.m. and we were shooting until like 11 p.m. that night.
Yeah.
We got over 1,500 photos, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Normally we charge, 5 figures for.
Or for a wedding? Shoot.
Yeah, multiple. A destination wedding.
There's so much stress on shooting a wedding, like, because there's only, 1 or 2 of those in somebody's lifetime. So there's a lot of stress on you.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yes, lots of stress. I mean, we were totally burned at the end of that day. Even the next day, we were totally burned from that.
Yeah, but we had to rally because then we went over to my parents' house, who are awesome. But they like to have a good time as well. And so we
love having a good time with you guys too.
Yeah, and so they were fresh in from a Hawaii trip. And so we were thinking that they just want to chill. Like, no. It's like we cruise over, and my dad was awesome. First thing he's doing is making us some palomas. He's
delicious cocktails.
Amazing. It's like the guy doesn't even taste them. He's like, no, he just eyeballs it. It's like, yeah, these are good. Crushed eyes. Boom. God, those are nice.
Quite the host and hostess, honestly.
Yeah, those were very impressive. And so then we kept on,
we kept
drinking
rallying,
for
honestly.
The next couple days.
Yeah, gnarly, but...
Yeah, I feel like we should make a teaching point in there. How does this affect other online coaches watching?
Well, honestly, because we're still working. You know, like we still have a coaching business to run. And so thank God we have great systems and routines set up too, you know?
Yeah, just because you're hungover doesn't mean you could clock out and not
No.
show up to your coaching calls. Like we've had some clients do that where it's like, oh, how come you didn't show up to the book call that you had or the book calls that you had or your client's call? It's like, oh, because I was feeling sick. Like, no, suck it up. Honestly, these people are paying you good money.
It's over Zoom. No one's gonna get infected or anyway.
Right. So if you work with us, like, oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to baby you and be like, oh, like you were sick. Like, no. Show up
for the client.
We can show you how to run
Always.
your whole coaching business with just one call per client, or once you have over 5 clients, just have 2 scalable group coaching calls per week. You can show up for those. Show up for your clients.
Yeah, and we had our coaching calls, all of them. We did our daily accountability.
Had some private client calls. That was fun.
Private client calls. I know, those are so fun. I love our group coaching calls. They're so collaborative. There's so much going on, but I really love the one-to-one as well, just because you can get like so nitty-gritty and detail-oriented and like really customize and tweak things.
Yeah, and we used to be consultants, so we're used to doing it for the person. And like in that case, for the private clients, it's just like, hey, is it cool if we give you level 10 feedback? Like, here's how we would treat your business as our own.
Yeah.
This is what we should focus on. And so it's really fun when the clients just give us carte blanche and they're just like, okay, yeah, hands up. What would you do in my situation? It's like, okay, we got Black Friday coming up. Here's what your offer should be. Here's the email you should send. Here's the sequence on how to drop it. And just like, oh, really think that should work? We know it'll work because we've done it before.
Multiple times probably. Yeah, so I guess the kind of teaching point there is lots of fun. We had a week full of fun, lots of partying and enjoying people's company, but the business kept going. We didn't just, say, sorry, can't come in today. We didn't call in sick. We didn't call in hungover. None of that. We still showed up, did daily accountability, made sure we were getting our clients' results, made sure that we were still showing up for our clients.
Yeah, another teaching point for there is it's kind of nice when you take a step back and you could just, like when you're out of the day-to-day of it, you can kind of be like, oh, okay, what parts of my business do I really like? And what parts of my business could they be better? And so what Jess and I realize is like we need some kind of way, or we don't need, we'd like to have some kind of automated course front end. So we realize we can either hire people onto our team, hire some closers, some setters, some people to help with fulfillment, or we can create an automated course on the front end at some point, sometime in the next couple months. We're going to do that. That way we can keep it as high touch on the coaching side from us as possible, but not have to spend a bunch of time on getting on sales calls and stuff like that. And yes, we will be taking a cut in how much we actually make, because you can make a lot more money fast if you're selling over the phone versus just selling via automated webinar. But we'd be happy with that, because the reason we started our coaching business wasn't to make a shitload of money. It was lifestyle first, then make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's a little nuance. We thought we'd share that with you as well.
And it allows us to keep our team very lean, which is very important to us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the last thing that we want to talk about in this video, which was permission to chill?
Yes. So this one, you and I, we don't give ourselves permission often, but that's because we really enjoy the work. However, when we got back, so we took a red eye back to Puerto Rico, and when we got back, we didn't realize how, I don't want to say burned out's not the right word, but just how exhausted we were from all the festivities and like doing all the things. And I think we got 10 hours of sleep like 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, you did. You're like a panda bear.
You guys, I can sleep anywhere, for being honest. But yeah, I got 10 hours of sleep. I don't know how many you got. But I think we're still pretty exhausted. And so we got back, it was Thursday. We got back in time for our coaching call, which was great. We were able to do our coaching call. And then we kind of just gave ourselves permission to not go hard like we normally do, to kind of chill a little bit, go to bed early, sleep in a little later, not get all the hardcore business done, but just to kind of relax a little bit to get back into the swing of things. Do you agree? Anything to add to that?
Now we're getting back into it. Like yesterday, I don't think we did any work yesterday.
We went to brunch yesterday. Like, we had great lifestyle yesterday.
Went to brunch today,
We went
too.
to brunch today. We watched a show yesterday. Like, we were chilling.
Yeah, but then today, look at us, Sunday. What is it? It's like half past a freckle.
Yeah.
It's like mid-afternoon. We've already shot a couple of videos that will be dripping out this week. We're shooting this one.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go get some healthy food and have an early night.
Yeah.
Start the week off right.
Exactly. And it kind of goes back to, like, we have systems and routines in place too, which, because we wanted to chill, it didn't take a lot of effort for us to still get the checked boxes done that we were, mandatory we had to get done, because it's like we're in such a routine and we have such good systems. So it's like, okay, we know we need to do this, get them done, time to chill.
And something that's really helped us throughout the years is make sure that you plan your week on Sunday. Or I don't want to be like telling you, hey, you should do this, but it's like if you're a coach, if you start planning your day on a excuse the...
We got some stuff happening, but we don't cut these, so you're gonna have to deal with the siren.
I hope everyone's okay.
I'm filming here. I know, I hope everyone's okay.
Yeah, we would just suggest, and these are just suggestions, plan your week and start your week on Sundays. That way you could battle plan out the week, and then your mind can start working on it instead of just like waking up Monday being overwhelmed and then doing a mad rush on trying to plan out the week. Give yourself some time to plan it out on Sunday. That way the world's not asking for your time or anything.
I think that's such a good point.
And then you could start Monday just checking boxes. You can even do a couple check boxes on Sunday like we've just done.
Yeah, and you've really taught me that over the years of how important it is to plan your week on Sunday, just because Sunday is naturally a slower paced day. People aren't emailing you or calling you or slacking you or doing all the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And so you can I like to take all of Sunday to incorporate my planning so that I'm not sitting there in a mad dash trying to get everything done in such a short amount of time, because for me, like, things pop up throughout the day where I'm like, okay, during my week I need to make sure these things get done. And so being able to have that full day of like, okay, by the end of the day the goal is to have the week planned out.
Right, it's not like she used the whole day.
No.
Besides shooting these videos, you really haven't done much work today. No offense, which is great.
Yeah, shot some videos and then worked on finances, be checking in with clients and making sure the day is planned out. Got to go to brunch with you and go sit and have a coffee, which was so nice.
Yeah, but we also like to keep every day kind of similar to we try to live our perfect average day as close as possible every single day. And it's about the simple Lux life. That's what we call it. And so if we're getting in 2 hours of work per day on average, sweet.
Success.
Yeah, Saturdays, that's Jess's day, so sometimes it doesn't happen on Saturday.
You wake up pretty early though. You always get your 2 hours. Sometimes I get like an hour and I'm like, oh, it's Saturday.
But you work faster than I do.
That is true, but that's why we're such a good... You're very, I go hard and fast and you're like, wait, details. But is there anything else we should add on this?
Got any little tips or tricks or things we've learned this week that would help any online coach?
Let's see, tips and tricks from this week. I mean, honestly, something that literally just what we've been talking about is planning the week on Sunday. And I'm analog. I like to have an entire sheet of paper that I can write my to-do list on, but then I also have that accountability channel that you created in Slack just so that we can
Team accountability, where we can hold each other accountable, just know what the projects we're working on and get really clear on like, okay, what's the 1 to 3 things that we really want to accomplish this week. Yeah, it's really good, especially when you work with a team, even just a team of 2, or if you have some assistants or what have you, is instead of always asking them and nagging them, because it literally feels like nagging if you're like, hey, so what are you doing today? What are you doing right now? And stuff like that. Just make it a part of their daily routine that they wake up, and then once they've got their day plan, they just share their day's plan with you. That way you can check it out, let them do their thing, let them do what they do best.
Yeah.
And cool, if they don't get it done, well then that's on them. Then you can reassess what happened at that point. But it creates a better culture.
Yeah, it
for
does.
sure.
Do you have any tips or tricks?
I do actually want to grab it out of the backpack right here.
He's getting some things.
This is a game changer, you guys.
I'm excited. Do I know what this is?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I know what this is.
Okay, guys. So check this out. So How do you become more efficient? Well, flashback to Jeff a couple weeks ago. This is what my daily notebook looked like. And so I'd write down what I'm doing for the day, what a perfect day would look like. Notice how big this is. How it's kind of overwhelming, right? Well then, how do I get my whole to-do list done now? The to-do list is a lot
Pocket
smaller.
size.
Exactly, it's great. And so you can't write as much on it. And since you can't write as much on it, then there's fewer things to do.
Fewer things, better things, babe.
Fewer things, better things. So literally, I know it seems like really funny and like duh, is going from a big notebook like this to a small one, just a daily planner, has worked wonders for me. It just forced you to simplify things, takes out the overwhelm. Instead of seeing like 20 things, you only see like 10 things.
He's the king of simplification.
And it also fits in my fanny pack. That's honestly why I got it. And then this is a happy coincidence.
It is. Great tip, babe.
Yeah.
So shorten your to-dos. Fewer things, better things. Get a small notebook.
Yeah, guys, $1 at CVS, best dollar you'll spend this week.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. That's all we got. If you guys have any questions, shoot them below. We'd love to answer any questions you have and help you build your online coaching business as well. But I think it's kind of cool to share what's going on with us, like even lifestyle-wise.
Yeah.
When shit hits the fan, when the good shit hits the fan too.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on all of the shit hitting the fan, for sure. That's all we got for you.
See you guys next week.